All right, Coach. So how long have you been a coach at Wagner, and what roles have you served in?
I've been at Wagner since 2015, so this is my ninth year. When I first got here, I was the offensive line coach under Coach Charles Bruce, and our offensive coordinator was Rich Mendoza, who's now the athletic director at New Braunfels ISD. In 2016, I was promoted to offensive coordinator, and then when Coach Bruce moved on to Brandeis, I was promoted to head football coach in 2021.
So in your time and the several roles that you had, what makes coaching at Wagner so special to you?
Places I've worked at are like Jefferson High School, South San High School, Irving High School up in the Metroplex. And so, there's just a bunch of tough, hungry kids. It is Judson ISD and JISD. It's a very eclectic community. You got the north side to the south side. And I grew up in Judson ISD, and I always identified with, my buddies that went to Kirby. And so I just, I love these kids. I love these families.
So why do you love the offense, and what is it that specifically draws you to it?
Well, I think it fits my personality, kind of. It's different, and I like to think that I'm a different person. I like to think that I'm not a sheep, It's a selfless offense. It's offense that you, and a football program is not just, an offense or a defense, but however, a lot of the things that we do, like we talk about defense wins championships, we're going to be tough, we're going to be a trustworthy team. I think a lot of things that this offense teaches, it's the character integrity things that maybe an offense itself couldn't. But I think literally what we do on offense is it's an opportunity to teach character also through the door. I believe this offense, you can teach the skills needed to be successful, and then every year we got a guy, or two, we put them in the right spot and we can be really explosive. So I just feel like it gives us the best chance.
Yeah, let them know we real. What you mean, go crazy? Go crazy. What you mean, go crazy? Go crazy. What you mean, go crazy? Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Yeah.
Most proud of for this entire
being able to come this far as the first team to ever do it in Wagner history, as well as the community. We brought the whole community together, and we're just going to build on this.
What makes Wagner football so unique is that it's different. You got to be a different type of person. You have to have a different type of swag. It's like an outfit not everyone could pull off, but we could. And it took us to measures the whole city didn't think we would get to or could reach. You have to have different sacrifices as well, from the O-line all the way to the wide receivers. As a quarterback, some plays I had to give up my body, take a hit, so the running back could go 50 yards for a touchdown. It's just different. You got to be a different type of person. You got to be selfless, and you just got to be committed.
Doing their job, everyone do their job. Everybody's job is easy. Our offense is very complex, and we do something different, and it's very special to watch.
That's what this offense is not necessarily all about glitz and glamour. This is blue collar, go to work, get you first downs, add those first downs together, use your play action, and eventually you're going to run out of real estate, you're going to score.
They are a team that is patient.
It's going to be a grind, and the big plays will come. The explosive plays will come in this style of offense.
They run that veer, that option, midline option, all that. And so that gives them, not only do they have good athletes, but week to week, that gives them an advantage over the opposition because nobody runs veer anymore. So you've got to get ready in 1 week to try to stop these guys. And it's all sleight of hand, option.
Tough. We run an offense that's tough. Defensively, we go up against it every day, and it makes us tough. Offensively, every player on that field has the ability to make a big play, and at any given moment, we can make a score, and I think that's the beauty of our offense. Oh, definitely the kids, the community we work for. We have kids that just come in with a certain mindset that they're kind of somewhat already tough. So they fit in with the culture of this program, and there's not another group of guys that I'd rather coach than the kids that we get here at Wagner.
I got to see your team several times. Y'all
there was a high level of discipline. You guys were fun to watch because it was very organized.
All right, so do you have any personal experience going through the recruiting process?
Yes, I do. I was fortunate enough to play D1 ball. So for me, basically how it works, man, is you have that first point of contact with numerous of coaches. You getting dragged out of class and getting to shake hands and meet, the DC sometimes all four, the DC, the head coach, the offensive coordinator, whoever the case may be, but just basically making pretty much like a meet and greet. Then you take those visits. And what I will say, man, is parents play an important role in that aspect. A lot of the times, the kids, they're not as comfortable when they don't have anybody with them. So what I will say, man, parents play a really important role in that regard.
So has Wagner had any success at getting young men into the next level or even further?
Oh, definitely, man. Just off the top of my head right now, man, Spencer Burford, who just played in the Super Bowl, played at UTSA, Derrick Kendrick, TCU. Signed today, man. We had 10 guys signed. Darius Burley, who's currently about to be enrolled at West Texas A&M. Noe Quitos and Azarion Sterling, both are going to Eastern New Mexico. Greg Williams, Colorado Mesa, and then we have John Rector and Rodney Staley, both are going to Texas Wesleyan. Donovan Lane, SFA. Wanye Taylor, man, he's going over to UTRGV. Edgar Bell, McPherson College, and Mason McGowan, I think he's going over to Howard Payne, man. So we have a whole lot of guys, man. And I think it says a lot about Coach Starren, getting those guys to buy into what we do. Mainly because I feel like there's a perception out there as far as like what we run. There's not a whole lot of production or development. But what I have to say to kind of combat that, man, is just February 7th, signing day, man.
It's a very fast-paced offense. It's very unique. It utilizes the speed of the players. It's just a great offense to run.
I play offensive line at left tackle.
What's so special about our offense?
We love to run, which is, in my opinion, one of the best part of our team.
You don't know where the ball's going. There's a lot of misdirections. We can pass it. You'll think you couldn't pass out of it, but you could pass it.
Our offense is different. It's tough, it's hard-nosed, and it's disciplined, and that's who we are.
Wagner forced 2 first-half turnovers and never allowed the Panthers to get going on offense, while the T-Birds had a rather easy time running the ball thanks to their studs on the offensive line. Wagner ends Liberty Hill's 23-game winning streak versus San Antonio area schools in a runaway 49-17 win. The heat from Liberty Hill's offense and the Sun were no match for Wagner's cool.
Battle tested like we kind of feel that we have. So. No real advantage there. Very talented team, very well coached team, and a different style of play. And let's start with our defense against their offense. Coach Westerfer, they're a little out of the mainstream, and they're very good at it.
They're extremely good at it. And like you said, they're out of the mainstream. They run that military academy option style offense. They don't block everybody, and they read. And, if you take the dive, then the quarterback will pull it. And if you take him, he'll pitch it. So there's 3 options on most plays for them. And it'll be a challenge to defend. They're a run-heavy team. They're rushing the ball for more than 500 yards a game right now. Which that's going to be a challenge for our kids, and to try and stop that rushing attack or slow it down. They got a lot of explosive running backs. They spread the ball around a lot to those guys. And we'll have to do a great job of playing responsibility-oriented football, and everybody has to do their job. And then we'll have to tackle well, because there's going to be some solo tackles that will need to be made, and
right.
Our kids will be challenged.
There's no doubt about that. And as I said, very well coached and talented kids running that scheme, which is well thought out, and it's of course not something you've defended all year,
right.
and won't the rest of the year. So that too adds to the difficulty of it. It's just not something our players are familiar with.
Those guys play hard. They play with a lot of toughness. They really do a good job of running their offense. It's a tough offense to get prepared for, and it's totally different than what they do all the time. What they do. and it's a tremendous advantage for them when you only have a few days to prepare for something that they do extremely well. I thought our players adapted and adjusted and did it. But, you know, we could go out there and get a win for them, and you know, we can say, because everybody really thought that it's Georgia Southern. They're 9-1 for a reason. They really probably should be 10-0. They're probably one of the better top couple teams in their division, running an offense that's very difficult to defend, especially when you don't play against it a lot. I thought our offensive line did a good job. Trent did a good job. We did a really good job of running the ball, and AJ played, you know, extremely well for us. So, you know, and I'm be honest with you, this has been a tough week for us from a defensive standpoint, and I'm glad it's over.
This offense is fun to coach. It's exciting to watch. It's just awesome. Literally, 6 years we've been running it. Since we've been under, we've made playoffs for five of the years. 2 of the years we went to the state semis. We're scoring a lot of points. We share the ball a lot. We share the wealth. We sign offensive players every year to go play college football, whether it be an O-lineman, whether it be a skill, and we break records all the time. Just as some stats, 2018, we led the state in total offense. Regardless of the level, we scored 57 points per game. We had 3 rushers over 1,000 yards. This is one of our state semifinals. Our quarterback, our fullback, our slot all ran for over 1,000 yards. Our quarterback that year actually signed to the Naval Academy. 2019, 50 points per game. Passing, 24.2 yards. Josh Cobbs was excellent. Josh Cobbs actually a D1 receiver who went to Wyoming after that year. We had over 5,500 yards rushing on the season. We also had, that year, we also had 3 offensive line signed to go play college football. So 2020, got back to 6A, led that district in scoring, led that district in rushing. 6 players with over 200 yards or more rushing. Led the entire state, led the entire state in rushing that year. Our fullback, 2 A-backs, receiver, all went on to play college football. 21, our quarterback went to be a D1 receiver. Awesome season. Okay, we had 5 players with over 300 or more rushing yards. 2022, second best scoring offense in the district, 20 yards per completion. Okay, 4 players with 500 or more rushing yards. Okay, 2 O-linemen signed scholarships. And then this last year, which was also another exciting year, making playoff, we actually had a 780-yard offense game in district. We also state runner-up, Liberty Hill. We put over 500 yards rushing on them and won the game. That was our first game of the season. We had A-back signed up as a D1 receiver. 2 O-linemen went D2. Man, this offense is exciting. It's fun to coach. It's fun to watch. You never know where the ball's at. And we have so much talent and so unselfish players that it's just fun to watch, because you never know who's going to have the game. It could be the quarterback. It could be the fullback. It could be the slot. It could be the receivers. The defense can try to take something away. They're not going to be able to, because somebody else will just have a game. So it's fun.
Jason Starren is 1 in a million when it comes to running the offense, made famous by Paul Johnson. He really broke it out at Georgia Southern back in the day, won national championships in Division I AA, took it to Navy and then to Georgia Tech. You'll recognize it as kind of a triple option. It's not the wishbone. It's not the veer. It's not the split T. But it's a version of all of them, and it's a triple option basically that is fun to watch, hard to stop, and the play-by-play guy will have no idea who's got the football.
Nor the color guy. It is going to be fun to watch it all unfold, because this thing is so nuanced, and you know, I think they add little wrinkles to it each and every week too. They've been really, really explosive scoring the football.
All right, Coach, so a little bit about the triple option. It allows any offense, especially ours, to take full advantage of however a defense lines up and use it to our advantage to put them at a disadvantage. So the triple option allows the offense to use their best athletes to get them open in spaces. Here at Wagner, since 2018, we've had an offensive player signed to go play football at the next level. Even going from the next level to the NFL, there's quite a few guys that have had successful careers. Guys such as Malcolm Perry, who played with the Miami Dolphins, had a pretty solid career with them. Even offensive linemen, they're seen as, oh, well, they just play at the academies. That's not necessarily true. Several offensive linemen who played at the academies and are at the next level is Alejandro Villanueva. He's a tight end who predominantly ran block while he was at Army, and he ended up being and playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also, there's a stigma that wide receivers aren't shown much love, if any, in the triple option. With that being said, one of the greatest of all time, not just in our generation, but overall in the history of the NFL, is Calvin Johnson, who had a tremendous career with the Lions and is one of the greatest receivers to ever play the game. And he got his humble beginnings there at Georgia Tech. They were triple option to a T with the legendary coach Paul Johnson.
You don't want to practice that day. You do not want to practice that day. It's a lot of running, and it's physicality all the way through, day in and day out. Even passing the ball is still physical. Run team first, pass second. Don't know what we're gonna do. It's magic. It's a family that you ain't gonna get back. It's brothers that you wouldn't even know you be cool with or even talk to outside of football. Then next thing you know, y'all best friends go out to eat and stuff. It's a different feeling that God gonna make you appreciate.
I'd say all the trickery. We can just disguise everything we run. They think we're running one thing, running something else. It's just, love it.
We have such good athletes here. And so I just wish, if anything, that we'd have more parent participation in the boosters as well as in the stands, because it's something about when you can hear the rally of the crowd, even if we've had the momentum shift, the crowd can get the kids back into it. And that's what I don't think parents understand. They're representing us and they're representing the Judson School District. And so for them to be able to go out there and then know that we have their back as parents, I think that would pay huge dividends.